Um, that'll come back up. So I wanted to explore this weekend. Let me just talk about it. If y'all can see this. I wanted to explore Kotlin multi-platform over the weekend. Um, I was able to I have a another sample app of mine that uses like GraphQL to pull like a list of like Rocket League events and display it. And what I did was I moved that Apollo GraphQL call into like a shared module and then built an iOS app in Xcode that referenced that Kotlin multi-platform module, and then I was able to make the network request and populate it on like an iPhone screen. And I thought that was really cool. Obviously, I need to learn a lot more about Swift UI that I could make this actually look like the Android app does. But just to be able to prove that I could do some shared business logic. Oh my god, the McLando emotes. Oh my god. um, that was really cool. And so I thought it would be interesting to sort of bring a portion of that into the TOA streams so that we could have like infrastructure ready to consider supporting an iPhone app someday. Even though I'm probably not going to try to use it anytime soon, I just wanted to like have the infrastructure there. And that's one of the cool things about Kotlin multi-platform is like it's Kotlin. And so if I'm going to make another app module for my Android app and I'm going to make it in Kotlin, I may as well make it multi-platform capable because then I have the option in the future. But even if I only ever use it for Android, there's like minimal drawback in this idea, right? So that was kind of my idea. Um, there's, let me find the link to this. Uh, Hold on, great, multi-platform into existing app. How do I find it? I know I found it by literally Googling this. Yes, make your Android application work in iOS. So let me share this with y'all. So this was cool. They go over like the requirements that you need. One of them being you want the Kotlin multi-platform mobile plugin for Android Studio. Um, but it's basically like this. Decide what code you want to make cross-platform. Create a shared module. Add a dependency on the shared module to your Android application. Make the business logic cross-platform, basically move the files over, and then run your cross-platform application on Android. And then they talk later about how you connect that to an iOS app, but we're not going to get to that today. All we're going to talk about today is like creating that additional module. So let's get into it. Um, let's see if we can get this sharing again. Not yet. I'll need to reconnect, but that's fine. Um, Sounds like a good plan. Yeah, it's not that bad. So let's talk about what we have to do. So once you have that plugin installed, you can go to New Module, and there will be a Kotlin multi-platform shared module template already. You give it a module name, so like core models. Um, Give it a package name. Let's do. Uh, I'll basically just follow the same package name idea, and then change this to regular framework. And let's click finish, and then it will generate a bunch of code for us. And I'll talk briefly about like the template for the multi-module support, just so y'all are a little familiar with it. Um, but for the most part, we won't really need to learn anything new here. I know it seems like this is like new and scary, but we're not going to look at any code that we haven't already seen before. And that's what I think is really cool. Um, I mean, we technically look at it, but we're not going to have to write any new code because we're not doing anything platform specific. If we did have to get into the different platforms, that would be tricky, but I'll show y'all how that works once the project is built. Well, so here's the idea, is once you have a multi-platform module, you're going to see these three folders. Android main, common main, and iOS main. You know what? Let's get rid of the emulator or the phone because we're not actually doing anything with it. Um, Android main, common main, iOS main. And as their names describe, one is going to have the Android specific code, one is going to have your common code for both platforms, and then one's going to have your iOS code. And I think you can go further. Like, I know, like, if you want to support like JavaScript or like other platforms, I think they just also take additional folders like this. Don't quote me on that because I don't know the details, but I'm pretty sure that's the general idea. Um, and let's look at what we got for um, this template. So the first thing we get is this like greeting function that returns a string. And it just says like, God dang it. Um, why are you yelling at me? I think because in settings.gradle, it's this whole wait, no, that should be prefer settings. Uh, do, 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 do. Sorry, trying to figure out why this yelled at me. Could not resolve all dependencies for configurations. The project declares repositories effectively, ignoring the repositories you have declared in the settings so you can figure out how project repositories are declared by configuring your build to fail. I don't think I need to do that. Oh no. Okay, well, let me finish my quick explanation of Kotlin multi-platform before we get this build. Ah, Tristan, thank you for the subscribe. How many can I see? 12 months. Oh my god. That's insane. Have I been an affiliate that long? Well, Tristan, you should have a pie next to your name. Um, if you have the sub badge, you'll have a pie. Congratulations. Um, although, oh, you don't. You get the founder badge because you were one of the first people. Um, so yeah, we get this template for greeting, and it says hello platform. And here's where this gets cool. If we go into the platform file, we see this code here called expect. And expect, there's something called expect actual, which is very similar to like how an interface works. We're defining the behavior that we expect to happen, and then each variant, I guess each platform, for lack of a better word, because this is called platform, but each variant will have to define the actual behavior. So if we go into Android main, we can see here for platform, we have actual class platform, and then actual val is Android, and then we reference like the build version. And then over in the iOS main, we have the exact same code where we say actual class, and then here it's UI device, blah, blah, blah. So we have that shared code that can say hello platform, and then for each platform, we just have code that says how do you determine what the platform name is. And that's really cool. And we're not going to have to do any of that. All of the code that we're going to do today can be shared. So we're not going to have to worry about this, but I just wanted to show you all that in the template. But we have to figure out why this didn't just automatically build. Um, I don't know the answer to that. Uh, is that why? Is it this Kotlin compiler version being 1.5.10 instead of 1.6? Because I think last time, in order to get this work, I had to make sure I was using Kotlin 1.6. Okay, that wasn't it. Um, huh. Well, this is the fun part of Kotlin multi-platform because you just have shit that takes forever that doesn't compile correctly. Let me check my other project where I know this does work, and let me see if I can spot any differences in how this is working. I don't think so. No, that's all the same. Let's check compile and target SDK are the same in our app build deck Gradle, 21 and 31. Yeah, okay, that's all the same. Um, okay, so let's dig deeper into this. Let's do a quick Google search and see if we can find the exact same issue elsewhere. That's not gonna help me. Um, I don't think this link that it's telling me is also, I don't think this link is really giving me anything special. Um, you know what? Actually, I wonder if I can, I think it might be this repositories mode thing screwing me up. And let's see what this other project did. So I think I got rid of that. Yeah, my other project, I just got rid of all this. And that might be, or yeah, I got rid of that. And I instead put the repositories in like the root build.gradle file or something. Um, sorry, just trying to find it. Yeah, and then I put this here in the root build.gradle. I just put those repositories for all projects in here. I forgot where I was found to do that. Hi Sam, how are you doing? We are trying to set up a Kotlin multi-platform module and just share like some data classes. We spent most of our time so far drawing up a diagram of how we were going to split up this app into different modules. Um, Basically having like a core models module and then having like our API implementation and then a feature module all going into the app module. And so we're going to try to build this like right to left, start with the smallest modules and carry over. And I was saying that even though I don't plan to use it for iOS necessarily anytime soon, but if we are going to make a new module, there's no reason it shouldn't be multi-platform capable. So that's what we're trying to get to work. And I think that we indeed have made this work. It looks like it's going to build. So let's do this. Let's let's get rid of all the template code because we're not using it. And let's move over the one file that we want to. So there's this task.kt file somewhere. Nice. That has some information. So let's take this task file and let's move that over to, this is still building. I wonder if I should let it finish or not. YOLO. We're going to take this file and we're going to move it over into our common main package. Now, this is going to be interesting because, yes. So that's going to be an issue, as Sam just pointed out. Oh, can I not? All right, I'm gonna have to let Android catch up. So as Sam was starting to point out, this class has a dependency on Java 8 time libraries, but that's not a thing in the multi-platform world, or at least like not in the shared code. So I did some Googling on this, and there is a platform thing. I think it's like Kotlin X datetime. Yeah, so there is a Kotlin X datetime that we can use. Um, I also considered whether or not I wanted to just like not use a datetime library and use like longs, like convert it to like milliseconds, but I feel like a datetime library is really helpful, so we'll, yeah. All right, well if Sam uses it, then we can also use it. Um, but yeah, then it's just, and then if I do need date information, I just do it within like the module that I need to, rather than having this like Kotlin X datetime, which then has to like propagate up into other portions of the app, right? So um, we might pull this up, but I think for now, I think I'm going to uh, keep it simple and use like longs, and then I can in my app module when I need to, I can just convert that to a local date, um, so without having to overhaul the entire application yet. But we'll continue to update the date stuff as we move into more modules. At least that's my plan. So this has really taken a long time to index. Um, but I think that's just because I have so much going on. Yes. Cheers. So I'm going for the Balmer's Peak of software development tonight. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so now that this is built, I should just be able to drag this over here. Yep. So that moves over. Um, we can change this. So we could, yeah, let's just change this to a long. And then let's put a note on here. Um, the time in milliseconds um, to the date that this task is scheduled for. Um, and I think actually what I like to do, just to make this more clear, even though because people don't read comments, is changing this to like schedule date millis. Um, because no one's gonna read this comment ever, including myself. So the variable name can capture it. Also, in order to make sure that we can even reference this, we need our app module to depend on this core module. So if we go into our app module here, we can do this right at the top. We could do implementation, project, core model. Okay, let's do a sync. And we'll run a build. This will probably fail. I don't know all the places that it's going to fail, so we're going to do the classic Atom method of refactoring where I just build and I let the compiler guide me to where the compilation errors are rather than trying to chase them down myself because I can never find them. It's going to take some time. Um, I really need This is just the downfall of live coding. I really need to figure out how to talk through Gradle builds. And what I figured out is every time I just say that exact same thing, and it usually fills enough space. Um, but we'll get there. Um, I guess we could start to check. Well, we can delete this directory too while we're here, because that's empty now. Oh, this might. I wonder if that's going to happen a lot. I've seen that before too. When I refactor, it pulls like the whole package name and that might break a couple spots. But when we make the pull request for adding this module, we can check for it and deal with it that way. Um, Something else we can think about actually is I just thought about this. So we've got this result class that we added into our project, which is like a sealed class for like success and failure, and we use this all over. And we can think about where this might go in the broader app architecture because the same way we have like core models and core UI, like it might make sense to also have like core data. Um, that I don't know if that would really have anything other than um, like result.kt. Um, I don't know if there's any other core data layer stuff that would be reused all the time. Um, I don't know. Huh. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to think about that. we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Let's see if this is, my God, this is still building. I have also heard of KTOR for like multi-platform networking. This project isn't using any networking. It's really only like persistent storage. So if we wanted to, we would use SQL to Um, but that's a good question. Like, so would your networking configuration and your database configuration go in like a core data module, or would you make like well, there's also a difference between like I've seen core data and then I've also seen like core network, core remote, like core local, like keeping them all individual like that. I don't know. Um, okay, so this is our first compilation error because we switched to millis. So let's do scheduled date. Um, let's see if we could do local date that from. Hmm. Uh, ooh, of epoch day. Will that work? Let's look at this. I can't look at it. So I have to figure out how to go from millis to uh I just don't know if this is accepting milliseconds or not. Let's Google it. Convert milliseconds to local date. Java. Oh, I see. I have to instant dot of epoch milli and then like convert to system zone into local date time. I can do that. So instant dot of epoch milli, past that schedule date millis, and then we can do at zone ID dot system default dot to local date time, or to local date is what we use. And then we could check like schedule date that is before. That should work there. Okay, let's see if there were others. Looks like there was oh, when we create the task, so date millis, see if we can go the other way. Let's see if they mention in here. Convert local date time to milliseconds. Oh, dot to instant dot to. So yeah, we have to go back through the instant class. Why not? Wait, why? Oh, do I have to convert it to the zone? I do. I need the zone. Um, um, I need to convert it to like a zone date time first. What the hell? Hold on. At zone. Can I not do it from local date? I guess. Mr. Sojak, thank you for the follow. Um, okay, that's really convoluted way of doing it, but I think that works. Yeah, that's a really convoluted way of doing it, but I think that will work. We can do some manual testing to make sure that this does work. Also, let's fix all those. So here, we'll basically do the same thing. Yeah, we'll clean this up. That's kind of annoying to do all over, but I can see why we have to do it. So here we'll do instant view facsimile, this that. It's good. Yeah, I should. Um, that would probably make more sense. But I think as I move more of this over, I might just get rid of the Java daytimes in general. Um, but you're right. Maybe I should just use a previews. I can just probably put in 0. Who cares? We'll just copy this because that's what's going to have to keep coming up. Okay, that should fix a lot of the compilation issues. We'll want to run our unit tests as well, because I'm sure those broke as a result, but that's okay. Speaking of multi-modules, so have any of you done this thing that I've heard of other people doing where they basically put all of their Jetpack Compose previews into their own module? Because that helps with like build times and stuff, and also like I think it helps so they're like all the previews aren't like invalidated as often or something like that. I don't know if it's worth it. Um, One thing I was struggling with at work is I realized that by default our composed previews were getting included in our Jacoco test coverage, which is technically true of this application as well. And I found a way to work around that. And at work, I increased our test coverage by an entire 1.5% just by excluding our preview functions. So I'd be curious what it would do for this app as well. Um, Maybe something we could do on another day. I think it would be a cool blog post or video to show how I did that. Um, all right, now I'm just going to run the test to make sure those all still pass. They probably won't, told you. Um, I knew they were guaranteed to break some stuff, so let's fix our tests. Um, that's that file, but there's going to be others. Ooh, this is interesting. Um, yeah, let's change this to be a long, and then we'll do the conversion here. Um, Import everything. Uh, I should have just written the extension function, but now I'm in too deep, so I'm just gonna have to go with it. Do, do, do. Oh, is that all of them? I don't know. Let's run test again. Oh my God. This, I guess, is probably something I could do a lot better, especially if I made like a test module. Um, there's honestly probably no reason for me to have um, do so much refactoring here. Like, this is probably an indicator that um, I could have done something better. But I'm kind of in the mode of just like, let's get everything compiling again. Let's get our tests running again. Um, not the only one. Let's run this again. Um, has anyone used the so Sam gave me this idea right before the stream started about Gradle version catalogs, which I hadn't really looked at before. Um, but it's something I want to check out. Dates are such a pervasive thing that are always difficult to refactor. I agree, which is honestly kind of why like just using just not using a date library feels like a good thing because then I just have like I'm dealing with primitive types and I don't have to jump through a lot of hoops. Now there will be times in this code base when I will care about a datetime library when it comes to like formatting and stuff, so I don't have to do it myself. But it's almost like if I can limit the places where I do that, that might be a good thing. And honestly, like one to consider is actually so now that our task is like a scheduled date millis, and we have this like persistable task, right? That's a string. Um, honestly, I should just change this to store the long. Like, because a long can be stored in a database, and there's no reason for me to store it as like an actual date anymore. So I can get rid of that entire like, well, not get rid of the mapping, I still want it, but I can get rid of the like date to string mapping, which is now long to date to string to date to long. Like I've just got all these hops for no reason at this point. Um, so that could be code to clean up. Um, but let's get this working. Ooh, so submit with empty description. This test failed in the prod add task use case test. Interesting. Um, why did this fail? Let's find out. Because I don't think this should care about the date at all. Okay, this is running. Is it not going to tell me what the difference is? Oh, oh, oh. Because what this test does is it validates input. And part of that input validation is to make sure that the date is today slash in the future. And I just hard coded a zero here, not thinking it matters, but for this test, it actually does matter. So let's get the actual time. We can actually do that through like zone date time dot now. This will save me a little bit of time. Um, to instant. So now that we pick like the actual like current date time, this should work. Let's check that. Um, assuming it does, which is a big assume, but let's get the pull request working. So adding core models module. Found two errors. Oh no. Oh, our UI tests. That's fun. Um, for those, let's use the real. Let's do the same thing. Uh, and looks like that probably also failed. Where else did that fail? Oh, no, those were the two errors. Okay, so that should be fine. I did not think about running the UI tests yet. They would run on our GitHub action, which is good. So they would have been validated eventually. Um, things are slow. I need to figure out if I can speed some of this stuff up. I know I've always talked about if I like stream from a different PC, if this would be faster. I'm also, does anyone know the current status of JetBrains Fleet? Because I really want to try that out, and specifically, I would love to try that out while I'm streaming. Because I think, I was using that JetBrains projector for a while, and that like did wonders for making sure I didn't drop frames and stuff. And I think using like any sort of cloud-based editor while I stream would be great. Um, but also, I think just using a cloud-based editor would be awesome in general. It was really cool to try a projector and run a Gradle build and not have my fans run. I still couldn't get over it. Uh, I should get that set up again. But do, 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 do. Oh no, max line length because of the redundant qualifiers. That's fixed, so this should work. Yeah, I think Fleet will be really cool. Nice. So that push, so let's get the pull request going. Um, so as part of number 92? No, that's not 92. It should have been 82. This is my fault. As part of number 82, adding a core models module to store our shared data classes. We'll put this under tech debt, and we'll put this in the dev experience project and create pull request. Um, so our tests are running, I think, still. Um, oh no, our unit test pass, so that's cool. So I just want to skim through this git diff and see if there are other places where our words um where it like tried to like here where it tried to fill this whole class path, which is really annoying. So add task use case. I'm gonna go into each of those files where I see that, and I'm gonna get rid of that like fully qualified path. Um, there's probably a way. Does anyone know in IDE if there's so when I see that issue, I know I can like tell the IDE to fix all in the file, but I don't know if there's a way like this. So here, if I option enter right here, I can arrow into this and I see fix all, remove redundant qualifier name, problems, and file. I wonder if there's one for like the project. I feel like it has to exist, but I don't know how to do it. Um, just curious if anyone in chat knows. Um, let's Google it real quick. Fix all lint issues in projects IntelliJ. Uh, no. I mean, I guess I could do find and replace. Well, not necessarily find and replace because that could also go to import statements, and I don't want that. Um, um, I think it's called a quick fix. Quick fix entire project IntelliJ. Um, for some inspections, you can open up preview by pressing F1, apply fixes in the problems. So, right, we do this. Ooh, batch apply quick fixes, code cleanup. So from the main menu, select code, code cleanup. In the specify scope dialog, select the scope and apply a profile. Um, select the inspection profiles or configure. Okay, so let's try this. So let's go into code cleanup, whole project. Ooh, is this gonna do, what is this gonna do to me though? Is this gonna fix like things I don't want it to fix? Let's do this and then we'll look at the diff. We'll see what we get if we just fix all like that. No suspicious code found. Well, that's just a lie. I'm looking at some of it. Huh. Maybe the quick fix only seems to, does it only do error? Huh. Let's do this again. Hold on. Wait, what's this inspection called? Remove redundant qualifier name. Okay, so let's go to code cleanup window. Let's click on this to view the details. Let's search for remove. Oh, it's not in here. Huh. Maybe that particular inspection can't be done. Interesting. Then I guess we will just keep finding them ourselves. There's not that many files. It looks like all the use cases um, have this issue, which is interesting. Um, proper task complete use case. Oops, wait. Yeah, close that. Ah, task list view state needs to be updated. Um, that looks good. This is add task view model robot. Yeah, the find and replace everywhere. I think I said this. It would have worked, except like if I actually do this, it means it could also replace my import statements, and that's what I didn't want to happen. Um, but it was a good suggestion. I think it would work for a lot of situations like this, but maybe not this one in particular. Oh, I guess I didn't think about using regex. To be fair, I usually don't, but I guess that makes sense. I could have done that. I just feel like there would have been a lot, but because I think I found them just by looking through the pull request pretty quickly, removing redundant qualifiers. Nice. Okay, cool. So that's our first module, and we have a multi-platform supported module. So if we wanted to, we could build an iOS app that can use our task data class, and that's all I could do so far. But that is what it is. Um, ah, I didn't update stream history. That's on me. Let's go do this. Guess who didn't update last week's either? Let's do that while we're here. Um, empty states, pull request 101. Okay, stream 20, uh, multi-module app structure. In this stream, we began splitting the app up into multiple modules that are KMM supported as well. So let's add some resources actually in here. Modularization posts. We looked at a lot of modularization posts today, actually. This was one that was shared. Um, the other ones that came from my Twitter profile, actually. Let's pull them up real quick. Nope. Ah, come on, Chrome. Why are you doing me like this? Uh, there's this one. And, oops, of course, Twitter's gonna short link it. There's this one, and there was this one that we looked at. Um, and then there's also, I should point out, there was um, KMM process, so that was this one. Okay, and then PRs, YouTube coming soon. This will need to add core models module. We'll add that. Okay, that's our stream history. Let's also, we talked about making sure we update the section at the top. So this will be stream 20, uh, multi-module app structure. So that goes in the all things. This deserves to go in the hot topics section. We can also put this in the developer experience section. Just a reminder, if you haven't seen it yet, what I just did. Ooh, unversioned files. Oh, Let's add that to git ignore. Um, so the stream history file, exclamation point GitHub in the chat, by the way, if you don't have this repo start, but in our TOA repo, there is a stream history file. The reason I just spent time updating that is because I have a pull request check to remind me to update it every time I make a pull request. And it has a recap of all of the live streams for this application. And it got kind of unruly because, as you saw, this is the 20th week that we are streaming on this project. And I wanted to make it easier for people to find specific topics if they wanted to go back and see like what was worked on. So you can view them by date or by topics, and these are all collapsible sections. So you can click into these sections that you care about if you're looking for something specific. So like Hot Topics has design system, dependency injection, persistent storage, and then when you click on this, you'll see any pull requests, the YouTube links. Um, I post a resource section if there are like blog posts on things we look at during the stream. So do start this repo if you haven't, and then you can always find info there if you miss a stream or you want to go back and get some context into something. So that being said, let's see how this is doing. That failed because of danger, but hopefully code coverage is working. So um, trying to decide if I want to wait for this to build or if I want to start moving on to the next module or not. Um, and I think that I want to wait just to avoid, in case there are build errors, it could just be really annoying to have to fix them if I make like another branch off after this one. Um, so I might not do that. I might just wait this out and we can chat or do something. Maybe do some like Rubik's Cube solves or something, because this could take a little bit of time, unfortunately. Um, Actually, what I'm curious about now that I'm here. Oh, we're gonna do a cube solve. All right. Let me uh let me get cube timer up and let me get a prediction running in a second. I'm going to do a warm up today because I have not done this in a while. Um, I'll even set the uh I'll even be a little more generous with the let's see, I like setting the prediction at 27 seconds, but I think I'm gonna set it at I'm gonna keep it at 27. 27 and a half rather. Okay, so I'll make it 5 minutes this time because I'll take a few practice rounds. Um, so there's a prediction going. Feel free to bet some channel points. Uh, we'll do some practice cube solves if you want to see me do one. If you haven't seen it yet, before you bet your points, you can witness a practice round real quick, and we'll see how this goes while our pull request is running there. So I'm gonna do the scramble that's on the screen here. If I can remember how to scramble a Rubik's Cube. Um, okay, so let's. I'm rusty. I haven't done this in a while, actually. Um, okay, here we go. Oh wait, no, I messed up already. Oh man. Yeah, see, this is why we do warm-ups, because this is bad. Oof. All right, that was a rough one. but that's not bad for my first time doing this in like a week. Um, let's see if we can get that back. 1 sec here. Yeah, I still got plenty of time on the prediction. Okay, let's see if we can get this back here. God, like I've forgotten everything. Okay, okay. All right, a little better. Shaved off 8 seconds from my warm up. Not bad, not bad. Um, okay. Let's see if we can do this again. Oh God, where is everything? Okay, okay. All right. I love how I'm like warming up and I'm shaving off like 8 seconds at a time as I do this. That's absolutely crazy. I've never seen myself improve that much in just 3 solves. I also don't think I've done a slightly intoxicated Rubik's Cube solve before. I've always been curious if I could still do it or not. Okay. Prediction's still going. I'm gonna do one more practice run and then we'll get the prediction. Um, don't think that many of you have participated on the prediction, but okay. Okay. This is gonna be a good one. I can feel it. Oh, I knew that was gonna be a good one. I could just tell from the start. Okay, the predictions are in. Um, there's no way I get faster a fourth time in a row, by the way. Like, there's no way I beat that. Like that was that was I should go back and clip that too. 20 seconds is really freaking fast. That's my best time and well in the last like 27. Um but let's see where we go. Ballmer's Peak, exactly, exactly. Um okay. Let's see how this goes here. All right, this one is the one that counts for the prediction, by the way. Ooh, 2550. All right, so I did speed up, but still pretty quick. Let's see. Oh, there was only two votes. One person? Was it the same person each time? I'm surprised we didn't get that much engagement on this. I know there's more than one person in the chat, but um that is under 27.5. So WebShark believed in me. It's okay, Jamie. Sometimes I like totally flub it and it takes me like 40 seconds. Other times I am like absolutely correct. So that was fun. Thank you for redeeming that web check. That was good. My setup back here. God, 20 seconds. That felt good. I haven't done that in a long time. Whew. Okay. Um, our PR is still running, but we're probably closer to done. Um, the other thing, now that I have a multi-module thing here, I should probably check our GitHub Actions to make sure they still make sense. But WebShark, thank you for gifting a sub. Jamie, welcome to the group. You should have an Android dessert emote next to your name in chat now, which is awesome. Um, I was just thinking about how I don't know if this impacts on Actions workflows or not, um, and if we want to rename them because like Android build is, I guess, not just the Android repo anymore, but also like KT-lint check and detect um, being run. Actually, are these run? So we have, for example, we have this detect.gradle file, just thinking this through, that has like a configuration for the detect plugin. And if we look at our root build.gradle file, um, which is not this one, we have this subprojects closure that says for each subprojects we want to apply these. So I think that means detect will get run against our core models module. Um, that should work fine. I hope. Um, I saw conflicting experiences about that in different projects, but I'm not going to worry about that right this second. Um, maybe after this passes. All right, looks like oh, our UI test ran. Looks like that was probably successful, so we've just got our test coverage stuff happening now. So we should have outputs of this soon. What's the X for? Oh no, our coverage decreased 0.1%. Let's take a look and see if we can see if that actually changed. This build, none of these changed though. So how did coverage go down? Oh wait, changed here. Um, yeah, I don't understand how that number gets calculated. Wait, coverage changed? Yeah, none of these are going down. Wait, this one maybe? There should be nothing different here. This should be excluded from coverage in the first. Well, not necessarily excluded, actually. We should be testing room, but I'm not going to worry about the coverage going down. I can still merge this as long as things pass. As long as the tests themselves pass, that's good. Also, okay, what time is it? 8:45. We can keep going a little bit. Might go get another drink, but I can't say that the quality of the stream would not degrade if I did that. I like don't drink anymore, so it doesn't take a lot for me to like start acting weird. Um, okay, cool. This all passed, so let's merge this. And we can start on a new module.